this first week of February. And isn't it a joy to know that we're already almost past the first week in February? And it's the shortest month, so it's going to go even quicker than any of the other ones, if we allow it to go that way, depending on your thoughts on time, and being and doing and understanding. Normally I would suspect at this time we would be preparing for summer holidays and getting ourselves ready to rock and roll in that department. I think that's going to be a little bit of a different thing round about now. There are a few if, buts and ands that will be going on. However, it will be what it is. And it's something that, a philosophy shall we say, that I think is a reasonably good one. It will be what it is. And what it is will be different for each of us, because we're all thinking about it in different ways. Some of us are really going out and manifesting the fact that there will be a summer holiday, that there will be joyful anticipation, and there will be joyful realization of a holiday in sunnier climes perhaps. And as I look out my window and see the almost horizontal rain getting whipped up with the wind that's outside, well, I can see the point. I'm thinking though that we're still in the belly of the dreaming. We're still there in the dreaming of a virus. We still don't know what the dreamer is dreaming. So it's about time, I would suspect, that we paid attention to our own dreams. Just instead of a passing thought, it might be a good idea to actively think. Now, I think we did something about that yesterday when I was talking about how we don't really actively think anymore about people who were in our past or who we think that we might see again one day. That becomes a passive thought. It becomes a, yeah, it'll happen sometime if it's meant to be, and but then if we actively think about it, we can actually do something that will give the universe a little, excuse me, hello, this is what I would like to happen now. Yes, there is a little bit of leeway with how the fate situation and destiny situation will be. But again, it is the thought that counts. It really does count. Because if we remember back a bit, what we think about how we're going to sleep will bring that about more often than not. Because although on the surface we could be thinking, yeah, I'm going to go to sleep, that, yeah, I'm going to go to sleep could be, I'm going to go to sleep, I'm going to go to sleep, I'm going to go to sleep. I have to. And of course what happens is you don't go to sleep. So the manifestation of what your thoughts are needs to be in a particular energy. It needs to be in a flow. And the more people who energetically think that way at the same time about the same thing will bring that around more often than not. It's how the power of prayer works also. So just think about it a little bit as you go along in your day. Think about the wishes in your wish box. Think about setting the tone, not just for your nighttime sleeping, but for your day. And you can set that tone every hour. If you have a setback, if something of situation like bad news, or someone comes in a bad mood and upsets you, or you're feeling really so upset already that you just cannot pull yourself out of the dwam that you're in as far as that's concerned, what would shake you out of it? What would actually make you go, oh, Well, that's good. You can put that in your jar of thoughts and aspirations, or your wish box, depending on which one you want to use. Because when you're feeling that you are thinking that there is nothing that can be done, well, there's always something that can be done. It might not be something that you really want to do, or say, or feel, but it might be something that will change things, mix things up a little bit for you. And I think we're at the stage at the moment where things are getting mixed up, because the new stuff is going to start arriving. The buds will be starting. The birds are already starting to come back. I saw 2 spiders in here the other day there, and they were quite fresh and new. So we had a little conversation together about that, like, you're a bit early, don't you think? And it was a case of, well, you know, it is what it is. Can't argue with that, really, can I? But what about making what it is become? What about that thought process that we can have that actually makes us realise that, yeah, I was just thinking that. Isn't that great? I was just thinking that and that happened. That happened to me yesterday. I was in a less than wonderful space since Tuesday. However, going through the social media, which I have to do for reasons that we all know about at the moment, I found a post and I was intrigued by that post. And it was something that one of my friends has been saying to me to do for years. And I have played with it and footed around with it a little bit. But it was a post about someone who wanted to do some flash poetry about Bridget, about the goddess, about Imbolc. So I played with it a little bit. I allowed myself to go there. The thought had been enough to kind of shift my energy enough to make me feel okay. And actually I'd done a little bit of shifting myself because I made ceremony yesterday. And it was something that made me feel like I had contributed something to the situation, that I had done something, not just to make me feel better, but to make the situation better all round, the energetic situation. And this is how these things work. Once I'd done that, and I journeyed also beforehand to find out what I had to do. Once I'd done that, I discovered that I was feeling a little bit more calm about things and noticing different posts, etc., actually actively looking for them. And I saw this post about this flash poetry. I thought, yeah, I've done a bit of that before, maybe I'll do it again. And I did. And it got published on the person's WordPress blog. So that was quite a yay moment. And I'd actually managed to think about something other than where my state was at the beginning of the day. By the end of the day, my state was better. It wasn't fantastic, but it was better. It's a little bit better again today. So, thinking about all of this and more, it has got to do with where your heart is. What's going on inside you, in your heart of hearts? Is it closed? Is it open? It's not just the mindset that needs to be open or closed, you know. Because what we think doesn't just stay here, it doesn't just stay up here. We actually wear what we're thinking. We show what we're thinking in our demeanour, in our way of speaking, how we actually look and talk to people, because, you know, sometimes it's just so hard. And other times we're actually thinking better about it and we're monitoring a little bit more what we're doing, what we're saying, how we're being in our space. Doesn't mean to say that we've forgotten completely what happened beforehand when we were sad or upset or furious even. What it does say is that we are competently thinking about how to change our state. We are looking at understanding that we are actually the ones in control of our state at all times. Even though we will kind of let that horse have its head and run off occasionally, we'll eventually rein it back in again, some way or other. So how are you reining in your thoughts? How are you feeling about this month? What are you looking forward to? What do you think you can make happen for you? Remember, it's the first smallest step towards where you want to be that will make the biggest difference. See you tomorrow.